those magnificent men in their flying machine. They go up to the up, up, they go down to the up, down.
Okay guys, we're doing this as the top part of the fuse, the dready bit where everything goes wrong, and it can go wrong, believe me. But anyway, I was lucky really, to be honest. So I've done it all, as you can see. So what we're going to do is just use this piece of thin balsa here as a mock-up. Okay, so there you've got your whole piece. This kit actually comes a little bit slightly longer to give you a bit of play over the edge, because obviously when you do the curve, it's not going to be a perfect curve on one side and the other. But it turned out it was quite close. So anyway, you get it, that's why you don't put this strut in as well, I might have to say. You get it to the back. I did it from the back there. I worked it around, so you got it nice. It's really, like I said, steam it, so it's more playable with a kettle and that. So I'm sure this camera will show you right on here. What I've done, as you can see here with the rubbers, you get it up to the edges of your struts and you just mark it so far. Don't go too mad on it. I mean, you could try and measure it, but I basically did it bit by bit like that, and then I just cut it out. Eventually I cut it out until I knew it was sitting happy there, which if it helps you in this model, it's an inch, what's an inch, I don't know, millimetres, but I was just 30 millimetres, say. Okay, 30 millimetres, that's as much as I cut out of that wood. I could have done with a little bit more, so maybe 33, but I think it looks more realistic because there's a bent in that. Okay, on there, so that's roughly it. I just keep cutting about on both sides. Okay, and once you've got that in, right, once you've got it all in, right, then I white glued all the middle formers and that, and then I super glued the sides, because I hadn't, only purely because I didn't have the clamps to clamp it. I haven't got enough depth on the clamps, so I super glued it 5 minutes and that, and then reinforced it. So that's there, lovely, it's stuck solid. You know, like I did with the other one, you always go underneath and redo it and tap it in. So that's that bit. So as you can see, both sides, okay? Right. And then the next thing to tackle, before you do anything else, you got them in, right? You've got it all nice and dry. Then you got to make your cockpits. So, am I still in the camera? I forgot it's not on stage, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Right. So we'll turn it around. It's easier. Sorry, right there. Right, let's make sure it's still in the camera. Right, so in order to get your cockpits, you can see I've done them all nice and I'm quite pleased with that. Right, so you've got your cockpit template that you get with the plan. You have to do what I said before, you trace it out off the plan using a bit of blueprint and that, and on a nice piece of old soft card to do. Okay. Now this takes a bit of fettling, because I've put the extra dashboard bit in, it sort of like took a bit of moving it around. So obviously, like on the plan, it shows you where to draw it dead centre, but I always fold it to make sure that it's all exactly the same, you know. Okay, so that's how to do it. Also look at the picture, that helps as well. Alright, picture the real plane. Then I've marked the top, the centre of the fuse there, and obviously at the front to get the guide. Okay, and then you put it on, and I used a bit of tape to tape round. So you imagine that's the fuse. I put it on in the centre and I tape round it to draw. Put a bit of tape on one side, draw around with a pencil or marker pen. Okay, and then I cut it out with a Dremel, a hay Dremel. Okay, and to get it even in that. So that's how that got to that stage. Okay, all this is going to be covered anyway, so you know, that's how it goes. Okay, so yeah, so I hope that's all clear to you. Right, so this bloody camera. Right, I'll try and zoom on the important bit now. This is an important bit. Right, there you go. Right, so you've done all that, okay, everything's done. Now the key here is that you leave this to last, or I have, because it's a lot easier to try and put just 2 bits in rather than the one. I keep checking to see that I'm still in the camera. I am. That's not very good that way, is it? So, okay. So, then you've got your rods. Right, your rods. Okay? So, it's like I'm dancing around the camera. Yeah, good job I didn't know, isn't it? Okay. Try and zoom in a bit more. No, because you won't see the top. Right. Right. So, in order to get this angle here, you've already cut the angle out here on the fuselage prior, so that's your guideline really. Okay, but what I found is I put the plate, the wingtip plate, the plate for the top wing, I've put that on so I know it's in the right place as a guide. And then what I did was it simply, you touch it to the side, as you can see, and you just mark it up. Again, only go so far at a time until you get it in the right angle, which is there, see? Okay, and that'll be it there, nice. Okay, and then like I've done here, as you can see, nobody's perfect, including me. I just put a bit of white filler, quick dry filler in there, or wood filler if you've got it. That's what I do there, because it's all being covered in a way and sprayed. But I just thought, you know, just to prove that nobody's perfect, you know. I mean, obviously, if you take your time a bit more, I mean, I was just working out how to do it, so at least you've got an idea. Okay, just cut it back gently. I used a saw, not a Dremel for this. I just used a saw off of it, but this bit I used the Dremel one, you know, to cut it away, and a pair of pliers. So you just Dremel it up so far, tip it off, so you get it to the happier place to be, you know, where you're happy with it. So the next thing is I'll glue these on now. I'll 5-minute epoxy on there, definitely, and probably there as well if I've got enough of it, and that way that will be definitely nice and stuck solid, both sides. And then that's the main part of the fuse done. I've got to take the camera off and show you, because I'm quite pleased with my little dashboard, even though I know it's not exactly like the real thing, but you know, some people just like that. See, I'm quite pleased with that. Yeah, you know, it looks a little bit more authentic, doesn't it? So, you know. But yeah, so I ordered the covering today, which I got a bit of a shock, and it's not the shop's fault, I know that, but it's just the price of things. But the last time I got Solatex, it cost me about £6-7 a roll, and now I went and bought this Oratex, as they call it, yeah, and that's £12.50 a roll for a metre, which I find extortionate, to be honest. I think it's a real rip-off. Jesus, man, you can get really good carpet for that price. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I'm not having to go to the shop, because obviously it's not the shop has to make its market, its profit. But even so, you know, the company itself, they'll be pushing out £12.50 a metre. So needless to say. And so there you go. Right, so then I'll have a look around and see if somebody can do me some pilots for me, you know, 3D pilots, because I wanna sort of like mess about with this a bit with the front pilot. You know what I mean? I don't want to give any secrets away. Anyway, so then onwards and upwards. So after that, the next stage then is to dress up the fuselage, because there's obviously this front bit. I am not looking forward to that, you know. But I'll obviously, at least if I make all the mistakes, whoever comes to build one of these can see the cock-ups I made, so they don't do it. That's my excuse. Jelly. And that'll be that. Okay, so that'll be it. I'll try and do the engine bit at the front. We'll get that sorted. Then there's an exhaust that goes down one side, and I like doing all little detailing like the plates, and there's some sort of, on the real one there's a bar that sort of sits on top, and I don't know what that's for. Maybe it starts it up or something, I don't know. Anyway, all that's got to come. Okay, so I'll maybe touch the engine bit, but the next thing I want to concentrate on is this wing top bit here, because I've definitely got to have a proper look at that, because it looks nothing. The plan has nowhere near like the real thing. So just have to have a look at that. Try and get it as close as possible. Okay, nice one. Alright then, ladies and gentlemen, that'll be it for today. Well, for now, so I'll put the video on. Okay then, alright then, cheerio, bye.
Those magnificent men, those magnificent